And we're live just
We are
about
live.
2 o'clock. How are we all doing, guys? This is another episode of Beyond the Bends, and we're joined again by Chris. How are we doing, Chris, buddy?
Fantastic, mate. Yeah, getting ready for the Christmas break. Couple of days off, I think. Definitely.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. So today we are talking about goal mapping, what are goals and why they're important to set now rather than just throwing them out there on the 1st of January and stuff. I always say there's two type of people. Sorry, there's a December people and there's January people. And I say this with all the good intentions of the January folk. You know, we want to be motivated. We want to set a goal. Are we forced into setting a goal? Is it our goal? You know, these things are the questions that happen in January. And with all good intentions, what happens on the 3rd week in January? How many people have stuck to them goals? I've seen it so many times. We've been around a bit now, haven't we, Chris? To see this happen. And this is why we're talking about setting your goals in December is way more efficient and way more better, you know? So what are goals, Chris? Why do we set them?
Wow, what are goals? How long have we got?
We've got an hour.
Right, yeah. No, goals are a vehicle. For me, goals are a vehicle to get you where you want to be. Now, we're going to talk about it a little bit later on, but I'm very much in the mindset of creating a vision of how you want life to look like. And the goal will allow you to get to where you want to be. The goal is like the car. The goal is like the taxi. The goal is like the pair of shoes that get you somewhere. So having something or doing something or being something are all part of this grand vision that we can create for ourselves or for other individuals or as a team or as a couple or whatever it may be. So the goal is the vehicle to get you where you want to be. Now, as Donnie was just talking about, the fact setting goals before Christmas and setting them before we hit New Year, it's like a forced thing, you know. I better set a couple of New Year's resolutions, you know, as if you should do. Now, whereas now we have the opportunity, you know, where everyone's at home, to set the goal, create the vision, and really understand why before Christmas, so that we can start taking action before Christmas, throughout Christmas, and so that we hit January, boom, we're ready to go. We're not just fumbling around trying to find some pen and paper. So yes, that's goals.
Yeah, no, and it's deadly important that we do this because, like we just said, they do dwindle away. The January blues kick in. You've had all these good intentions are set, but in reality, you need a reason for a goal. What is the reason behind the goal? So I'll just pull up I put a question on our membership. If you're a member, you'll have seen this. If you're not a member, then I'll just brief what I did briefly. So I just put in what is people's goals this year. How do we help them achieve? We've got an in-house experts here at North, and so we're not just another yoga platform. We've really picked the cream of the crop to deal with specific genres of holistic therapy, let's say. So we've got you, Chris, who's our motivational coach. We've got a nutritionist. We've got an injury specialist in Helena Biles who works on specific body parts. We've just now brought in a girl called Becky Sams who's going to be taking over women's health. And then we've got Polly, who's amazing at mental health and the Kundalini specialist. So this is what we're doing next year. And we know that we can be between this bunch of great minds, we can help you achieve your goals. So the ones that got brought up was mainly motivation. And I think this is motivation the thing, or is it a discipline to it? What is motivation? Is it a buzzword? Is it? Yeah. For me, it's routine and discipline. It's not motivation.
Motivation. Motivation comes and goes. It's a word of it's a feeling, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The
emotion of being motivated. It's a feeling. So we have to turn that emotion on. And we are motivated by certain things or demotivated by certain things. Now, you had just mentioned it there about the reason. it all comes down to having the purpose. Why do you want to do what you've written down? Why is it important to you that you lose 2 stone this year? What would it mean to you if you do? What would it allow you to do if you did it? And what would that mean to you? That, all those questions, and please watch this back again, all those questions allow you to get your emotions attached to why you want something. And that will give you the motivation. Relying on motivation alone will, unfortunately, it won't happen. Motivation, I know it, from things that I do or don't do, motivation runs out. It disappears because when you hit hard times, motivation runs out and there's a lack of purpose there. So when we fire up the purpose and understand exactly why we must do something or exactly why we need to do it, that's what creates the energy. And it's the energy within.
Yeah, for me, motivation is almost like the circuit wire where you, like for dynamite, where you light it, that's the motivation. But that fuse will always run out at some point. But what's important to do in that fuse stage, shall we call it, is set habits and routines in that fuse stage, so that the motivation got you to set the habits, to set the routines. But the discipline is what keeps you there. So like motivation is only good for a certain amount of time, I feel. But in that time period, which I call the fuse, it's to get your habits and your routine embedded into you there. I know I'm off for runs 3 times a week. I know I'm hitting the mat X amount of weeks because it's a part of your daily routine. It's a part of the discipline that you've provided yourself in that fuse stage. So motivation will, like a piece of dynamite, blow up at one point. It's not there forever. But what's catalytically important to do is in that time while you're feeling motivated, is to set these habits up so they just become bread and butter. You know what you're doing. You don't even have to think of, oh, I've got that. It's just part of you as a structure.
You're just doing it. You just do it. You just do it because you know why you're doing it. And once you get the consistency and the habits and the focus around why you want to do what you want to do, it becomes second nature. You don't need to be motivated. You just need to think, why am I doing it? Oh, that's why. Yeah, cool, great. I didn't want to go in my makeshift gym this morning, which is the conservatory, which is effectively like being outside with glass. You're inside, but it's as cold as outside. But I knew why I was going in there, because I know that I'm probably going to be eating a few extra calories over the next couple of days. And I wanted to feel fantastic. And I knew I had this podcast on this afternoon and my podcast. And without that, I'd feel crap. So they go hand in hand, purpose and discipline, habits, a routine, whatever you want to call it, depending on what word works for you. These 3 things, which mean the same thing, very, very, very powerful.
Yeah, and that were one of the problems that brought up. But let's go back to goals, which is what someone had structured there, that's saying they struggle with the motivation and the discipline. I think the answer to that is make it a habit. Don't see it as just turn up and do it. And if you do that for a full month solid, I truly believe it starts to be just a pattern that emerges, just like brushing your teeth.
Yeah. I just asked though, what was the question again? Sorry, what was it?
It was the question I asked is, what do you want? What's your goal for 2021? Is the main question. And a lot of people said, I want to be more motivated. I want to do more yoga. I want to do more. That was a lot.
Why do you want to be more motivated? Why do you want to be more motivated? Why do you want to do more yoga? Why do you want to get better at certain things? That's the question, isn't it? Because when you answer that question,
it makes you feel good.
It doesn't mean anything, does it? It's not. There's nothing behind those words. I want to do more. More what?
Yeah.
Why? But why? And when you dig into the why, you'll feel it in your heart. You're all yogis. You'll all feel it in your heart. You'll all get heart centered. Bang. Once you've got it there, you don't need to look for more motivation. You just need to look into the heart and ask yourself exactly why I'm doing it. Because go on.
I think as humans, You just have to listen to the actual answer when you're in the stillness. You know when you're putting something bad in your mouth. You know when you're putting something, when you need to do something good and the repercussions that it'll have. So just maybe listen to that is the answer to that one, I'd say personally.
Yeah.
You know you're going to have a better day if you go roll the mat out. You know, it's proven. How many times have you done it before?
Yeah. Your reason could be, because I want to feel fantastic by 8 a.m. every single morning, and I know that yoga does that for me.
Exactly.
That could be a reason. That's a brilliant reason. I do it. You know, I had a coaching call with a client, and he said he wants to be able to communicate better with his girlfriend. Oh, sorry, no, to keep the house tidier. And I said, well, why is that important to you? Well, it just is. I said, yeah, but why is it? You know, why is it important? And we ended up at the answer was trust.
Yeah.
And now that's quite a powerful answer, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Dig deeper into the surface of the question is what we're getting at.
But
I'll go back to goals. How do you set? Like people might be here, like, oh, I really want to set these goals, but I don't know. I always fail at them. What's your structure behind a goal setting? Because we do goal mapping. We've done some goal mapping together. I do it with Polly. We've already got our goals set out. We did them a couple of weeks ago, but it's not too late. Like I say, get them in December now. So, you know what is coming around the corner, you know Christmas is here, and then you can execute them knowing firmly what you are instead of rushing them through. But what's your stage, Chris, from setting a goal and achieving it? How does it work for you?
Okay, yeah, cool. So myself and Amy did something in October, actually, that sort of maps out the start of the year. That's why we ended up booking to move to Spain. So there's quite a few things in the process at the moment. However, setting goals can be really, really simple, or it can be really, really challenging. Now, I'd like to make things as easy as possible so that there's less chance for not getting it right or getting it wrong. And really, it's understanding. What I would first ask myself is, what's gone really well this year? Put you in a positive state. So you're reviewing all the things that have gone really well. You've done really, really well. So you might have done consistent yoga for a couple of months. You might have got a promotion at work. You might have set that business up. You might have done this. You might have done that. You might have got married. You might have got divorced. It might be a really great thing. You know, all these things that have gone well, and put a list down, because you'll realize over that period of time that you've done some amazing things. And then what you could ask yourself is, what would I like to have done that I haven't? So you're almost doing reflection and review on what's happened. And then you're in a position to look at those and think, well, actually, I'm not bothered about X, Y, and Z anymore. But, you know, setting that membership up or doing this or doing that was really, really important. I didn't get a chance to do it. I didn't make it important enough. And then I would suggest setting 3 to 5 goals. That's it. Because any more, any less gets, you know, you probably smash them out in a couple of months. And some, you know, too many, you end up with so many goals, you don't know what you're doing. And creating something that allows you to work towards in the year with some goals that under that allow you then to create 90-day action plans where they're a little bit more free flowing and you know exactly where you are at all times. So I would say, first things first is review last year or this year, the good points and the bad points. And then I would ask yourself what you wanted to achieve from that you haven't. And then what would you like to achieve next year? And, you know, you could have a business or a career goal, personal goal, and then maybe something around your health, wealth, relationships, maybe 3 to 5.
Yeah, I think that's great advice. And then keep reviewing them. I like you say, on that 90-day basis of how this is what I like to do. I like to set a big goal for like the full year of what I'd like to accomplish over that time. Then I set a quarterly goal, which is a short hit and run. Yeah. You know, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah,
back it out of park, and I know where I'm off with it. You know, but it's also going towards the big part. You know, so they're all working in unison.
Yeah.
And then I like to set a relationship and a goal for me and my partner and what we want out of the time in this year. You know, why we're doing it. Like you say, that's a really important thing. Like, why do we want that freedom? What do we want more of? Or and where the end destination is actually. That's what you need to know, really.
Yeah, you hit the nail on the head there. Sorry. You did hit the nail on the head, because as many people are in relationships, it's brilliant to be headstrong and focused on what you want or who you want to become. But I wonder, would it help the relationship and the communication between you and your partner if you were to set some goals that helped you both work together? Because sometimes you've got one person wanting to do this and one person wanting to do that, and you're going off on different train tracks, which is mental thinking about it. But when we get super clear and super focused, we sometimes don't necessarily think about the other person in our lives, because we're like, right, I want to do this, and I'm doing it, I've got my mission, I've got my why. But sometimes it doesn't always align with our partners and our relationships. So sometimes we need to take into consideration setting some other goals. It might be making sure we have a date night every single week, or making sure we sit at the dinner table every single or 3 nights a week. Something even so silly, but something consistent that you can review on a daily, weekly basis and a monthly basis, so that you know that you're doing it. It might be to book a holiday and go away for a month together.
Yeah, definitely. That stuff like these are important, and it doesn't have to be relationship, like you said. It could be health wise. But it all boils down to, there's no point setting these goals if the meaningless words. You need there has to be action behind everything, because it's just delusion if you're not going to see it through with action. This is why I say the new year, new me. It's a phrase that it doesn't sit very well with me, because it's
not the term I was going to use, but yeah.
No, it doesn't. It's okay wanting to better yourself. We all do that, but it's almost an echo chamber that lasts 3 weeks, where it doesn't matter after a certain amount of time. So I just think these goals have to be meaningful. They have to get you to a destination, and I think that you have to strip it back sometimes and think, what, like you say, why, and get to the why and work back from that. Like for me, I need to run because I often have a lot better days when I do than I don't. It keeps me motivated all day, not just a little affirmation that you say, I'm going to do this. It just works for me. That's what works for me. And for you guys, it'll probably be rolling out the mat, which I do as well. But yeah, I the early morning habits are what make my day easier. And I've learned that. That's not a New Year's resolution. That's a lifestyle. And that's what we need to hold together here. We're always here to help. We'll help you with anything, whether it's mental, physical, or spiritual, or anything. We're here to do that. But set it for you, do it for you, and take away why you want to do it. I think that's what the key thing we're getting here is.
Definitely, get results focused. Focus on what you want. Purpose driven. So understand why, and then how are you going to do it? What's in my way? What obstacles may I face? What challenges are there? But what skills have I currently got that I may need to develop to get me there? Because we've usually got half of the skills or half of the resources. It's just about becoming a little bit more resourceful in the certain things that we do, or the way that we look at things, or the way we communicate with people or ourselves, that are preventing us from reaching that next level.
That's a critical part. And there's not much more we can speak on the actual what goals are, how to map them. But if there's anyone watching now who wants a question, fire them away. I've got all the platforms up that we're using today. We're on YouTube, we're on Facebook Live, and we're in our exclusive members group. So if anyone's got any questions we can dig into, then feel free, and we'll dig away.
Yeah, I mean, just before any questions pop through, there's a million and one ways, you can set goals, whatever works for you. But I touched on it earlier, and creating a life vision is probably the most important thing, because, as I said, you can set goals, which are wonderful, but what about creating a life? What about actually starting to picture and starting to visualize the life that you want to live, and start to associate your feelings with these experiences and with these emotions, And you know, when you're creating a life vision, you know, it could be about living abroad, it could be about living in a new house, you know, and really, as you're all yogis, you're all probably quite in tune with your emotions and being able to associate yourself and visualize certain things. So it's really great because it allows you to start to create your future life in your mind before it even happens. You know, and you can be thinking about this while you're doing yoga. You can be thinking about this while you're sat journaling on a morning while you're having a cup of tea, looking out to the sunrise, and just associating these positive emotions with an experience or with achieving something, but coming at it with an abundant mindset of it's happened, it's already happening, instead of this scarcity thing like, oh, I really hope it comes off. That's very a scarcity mindset. Whereas celebrating in your own mind that something's already happened, or you've started to, you know, you're walking around the new house with this brand new carpet that's really comfortable. You know, I can feel that emotion now. So the more emotionally attached we get to the things that we want, the more likely it is that they're going to happen, or you're going to start taking the right steps and actions to get there. So a couple of sentences, half a page, whatever it may be, of how you want your life to look. You know, whether it's your personal growth, whether it's your health, wealth, relationships, business, career, whatever it may be, this will be like the map effectively to allow you to set some goals from that. Because once you've created the vision, it will allow you to then identify what you need to do and achieve to create the life you want.
Funnily enough that you've just mentioned that, I've actually got my mission statement that I read every day, and I'm happy to share it with you. And it is speaking in the present tense. And yeah, we also, like, just going to visualization before I start on this. We've got our goals already written as they've already been completed. And the first thing we see when we wake up is a wall opposite us, and they're on little sticky notes. It could be that simple, you know your statement, you know what you're getting up for, you know your drive to go, because they're staring at you in the face before you've even had a coffee. Yeah. You know, some days I don't want to read them before I've had a coffee. I'm like, oh yeah, I've got that to do. But you know, they're there, they're in the forefront of your mind, you know, physical and mental, they're there. Yeah. But this is my mission statement. And I wrote it out while we were go mapping maybe 2 weeks ago. Donnie is kind, caring, and helps others. He does this by leading by example. He's healthy, happy, and rich. Abundance pulls towards him. Donnie is a good lover and supportive of his wife. He inspires a truly powerful person on this planet and aims to make the world a better place. Each day, Donnie gets more wisdom and shares it with others. Clients trust Donnie and want to hear more from him because he is the best in his field. Donnie screams class and will always be secure. That's what I use as a little mission statement. And that keeps growing, you know. I keep adding to that on maybe weekly, and I keep pulling it in. And at the end of the year, it'll get a clear statement and it might keep growing. But that's what I use as an affirmation.
And how did you feel when you read those words? You know, if you would just take a moment now and just read them, and you don't even have to read them out loud. How do you feel? Like, what emotions are running through your body?
Empowered, focused, and driven, really.
Yeah. Now,
because it's my mission statement. That is a mission statement.
To anyone listening and watching right now, that's purpose. That's motivation. That doesn't disappear. That only grows. And when you create the life that you want and who you want to become, more importantly, who you want to become transforms everything in the world, because you're aiming to become a better version of you, whatever that looks like to you. You know, it could be, like I said, losing the weight. It could be putting muscle on. It could be getting toned. It could be getting flexible, being able to get into a yoga move, maybe. That's progress. That's you becoming somebody new and somebody better and somebody improved and stronger and leaner and more focused and more spiritual and emotional. That's progress.
We always say it North and Soul. You'll have heard it many times. Progress is happiness. That is a little motto for us. And I know it's sure true. I think it's true for everybody, but it's always true for me. You know, if you're progressing somewhere in what life, you're going to be a happier man or woman. Yeah. And I write this down, and I do this because my the reason I'm here is to help others. I really believe that. I want to help everyone who comes in or out of my life. I want to leave a mark on it and really, help people. Because that's what I want. And if you read that statement, that it's all there. That's what I want to do.
Brilliant. That's amazing. And and you can change these, you can amend them, you can adapt them, you can rewrite them out, you can read them out loud. What you write, you invite, and what you say out loud starts to program the subconscious to make things happen. And without going too deep into neuroscience, as neuroscience starts to meet the spiritual world, what we say, what we think, what we do, what we experience in the present, even if it isn't real, allows us to start creating that future in the quantum field somewhere we're not quite attuned to in this moment. But the more we think about it, the more we experience it, the more we write about it, the more we work on it, the more action we are likely to take, and the more likely we are to be in an opportunity and an energy perspective to be able to accept that opportunity when it arises. Because
100%. It's that attitude of abundance, knowing that the magnetic fields are coming towards you, the energy's positive, that mindset that we create through yoga, through movement's medicine, in my opinion. Whatever you're doing, it's medicine. And it really does tune you into that magnetic abundant state.
Yeah, it's fascinating how the two are they're very, very linked and collided. And the more I learn, the more yoga I do, the more meditation I do, the more it's all just connecting. As we learn more about the brain, we learn more about the spiritual side and the emotional side, and it's fascinating to be a part of and to be able to experience it on a daily basis, and to be able to play with it and train with it and experience it, but also at the flip side of it, learn what's not going right and what needs tuning in and what needs improving, because these things are so subtle, as we spoke about the other day, didn't we, Donny? Sometimes you don't know you're not doing the things that you need to do.
Yeah, habits are good and bad. That's the truth, and you can slip down one path. It's like a game of snakes and ladders, really, isn't it? You can hit that, and then you just go straight back to the beginning. But it's very important that it's awareness. You need to be aware of. Sorry,
it's warm.
Yeah, really warm, actually, sweating warm. It's really important that we keep attuned and aware of what we're doing, and are we stacking positives or are we stacking negatives to our main mission statement. And having these things at hand is just, that ain't even my final copy. I'm going to write that just before Christmas, and then I'm putting it in this power journal that I've just bought, and it's how to progress and stuff. I'll find you a link and put that in. But yeah, these can change, and having stuff like this around you all the time almost niggles out these bad little habits, because you're replacing them straight away in the mornings when you wake up, or you're reading that, or there's stuff going on, and it kind of sizzles out them bad spots before you've even let them grow. You've crushed them with a positive affirmation that you're saying. It's not a place for negative breeding ground. You're becoming this all-encompassing, power-moving beast, that won't let any negativity in, because you're reading stuff like that. You're surrounding yourself with positive stuff.
It's easy, isn't it? But it's
easy and hard.
Yeah, it's easy, but sometimes we haven't linked enough pleasure to what we're doing, these little habits, and that's the thing that gets you through. It's like, going for a run or going for a walk. I spoke to somebody the other day who I had a free coaching session with him, and just by him getting up on a morning and doing a 30-minute walk instead of laying in bed and rolling over will change his life, because he'll get up, he'll feel better, he'll go for the walk, he'll come back, he'll think in gratitude when he's on his walk, speak to his wife better, speak to his kids better, have a better shower, get ready, go to work, be in a better mood when he goes to work, have a better day, come home, speak to his family better.
And that's through a millimetre shift.
Just from getting up earlier. just going for a walk in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
Can you imagine the compounded effect of that over a week, a month, 12 months? Not only will he have lost weight, not only will he feel better, he's probably got a better life, probably got earning more money because he'll have performed better at work.
Yeah.
And potentially, well, who knows? It's unlimited, isn't it? Potential. Whereas we could pretty much guarantee where his life was going beforehand.
Yeah, no, there's got to be changes, but the subtle changes are the ones that win. You know, because we do this thing, don't we, Chris? It's called we millimeter shift. Each day, I want to just be a little bit better, 1% better than yesterday. And that will get me in a great place for not just next year. Imagine the year after that. And in 5 years' time, oh God, we're talking business, you know, because that's what I do. That's how I want to live my life. I want extraordinary results. So you've got to do extraordinary things to get extraordinary results. You want mediocre stuff. You just do the mediocre things. But I don't want that, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you guys don't either, because we're in this empowering network together, and where the tip of your fingertips or the beck and call, just let us know, and we'll always be here to help.
No, I 100% agree. 100% agree. The things you do now will directly affect how your life is lived in 6 months, 12 months, 2 years, 10 years. You know, putting that little bit of work in now and changing that little habit. I know we've ended up on habits, but you know, ultimately your goals, your vision, all come through empowering habits, good habits, and it's just about creating a lifestyle and a routine or a discipline, however you want to describe it to yourself, that works for you, that allows you to feel how you want to feel, but is also on the journey to becoming who you want to become. Because we all want to become someone, don't we? But some of us know who we want to become and some of us don't. And all it takes is a little bit of time, giving yourself an afternoon maybe, or half an hour, just to think, who do I really want to become? What kind of person do I want to be next year? How do I want to act? How do I want to be for my kids, myself, my husband, my wife, you know, my work colleagues, my business? And just ask yourself, who do I want to become? And what would it mean?
When the goals get hazy sometimes and they're letting slip, you just have to rewind, recheck yourself, read these things that you've written down, you know, and you're allowed slip-ups, you know. Life's there to throw you these challenges to see how much you really want it, you know. You've just got to keep coming back to why you've set these intentions and goals out.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
I hope we've helped you.
It's there. Life.
Sorry, go on.
If you remember, life is always working for you. Life is always working for you. It's a challenge. I yesterday I made a lot of healthy cheesecake, as healthy as it can be, with some protein powder and soy yogurt and stuff like that. And I wanted to eat it all. You know, it was so nice. It was like a blend between cheesecake and what's the other one? Like a caramelized top on it. Anyway, I made it and I was wanting to eat it all, and I was like, no. It's delicious, yes, and I could eat it all, and I could eat all these cookies I've made and all these little biscuits that I've made with peanut butter, but I'm not, because the day after tomorrow is when I do my measurements, do my photographs, and by eating all this, it's not going to help me on the scales. So I'd linked some purpose and meaning to why I wasn't doing what I was doing. So always just checking in with yourself, and it can be challenging at times when you want another beer or another glass of wine and you've had 7. But just remember how you want to feel in the morning if you want to get your mat out.
Yeah, definitely. That's it. And like I say, try these techniques and just see where you are in that first quarter. Are you like, just take it on a 90-day measurement, write your affirmations out, write your purposes out, what your goals that you want to achieve. Write your mission statement and just keep reading that and repeating it, and it becomes ingrained into your body, which does stuff to your nervous system, which changes you, you know. And that's what we're all out here to do. We're out here to make the world a better place, and that's it. Hope we've helped. I guess this will be the last little pop-up podcast before Christmas. So yeah, have a merry little Christmas, everyone, if you're listening. And yeah, we'll see you in the membership where we're working till Thursday. Our last class is on Thursday. And then we're having a little break till I believe is the 4th of January. Is that right? The Monday? Yeah, I think it is. Okay, guys. Much love. Peace out.
Thank you all. See you soon.
Bye now.